Welcome to beautiful Istanbul. In this video, I'm going to be showing you around this fascinating city. I'll be exploring some of its ancient sites that are packed full of history, and I'll be trying some amazing Turkish cuisine along the way. So stick around and find out what made Istanbul the most visited city in the world in 2023. Founded in 657 BC, this city was known as Byzantium. Then in 324 BC, it was conquered by Constantine the Great and became known as Constantinople. Then 2,200 years later, it became known as Istanbul. Built in the year 532 AD, the Hagia Sophia, which translates to Holy Wisdom, is an outstanding representation of Byzantine art and architecture and a major historical and cultural site here in Istanbul. I was overwhelmed by the beauty of not only the building itself, but also the amazing mosaic art decorating the walls that reflect its history of being both a Christian church and a Muslim mosque. This place has seen it all. Built by the Eastern Roman Empire, this was the center of religion for the Eastern Orthodox Church for over 900 years. It was also the biggest building in the world until 1520. In 1453, the city was conquered by the Ottoman Empire, and it was converted into a mosque. Then in 1935, it was turned into a museum. And in 2020, it was restored back to a mosque. Even though it is an operating mosque today, you can still take tours of this amazing piece of history. The main floor is for worshipers only, but the second floor is open for tourists to visit. So this morning, I'm having the traditional Turkish breakfast of menemen. Menemen is made with eggs, tomatoes, green peppers, and spices, all cooked in olive oil. You can get it with sausage or cheese, but this morning I'm just going to go with the plain menemen. The whole thing is cooked up in this one dish, and it is hearty and filling, partially because they bring you an entire loaf of bread, which you use to soak up all the delicious juices. I'm going to go in for a big bite on top of this bread. Oh, so good. Menemen, along with a Turkish coffee, is a great way to start the day. Turkish coffee comes in such a small cup because it's really strong. Oh. Most locals drink chai or tea for breakfast, but I have to have coffee to start my day with. The Bosphorus is a natural strait and international waterway that separates the Black Sea and the Sea of Marmara. It also separates Istanbul into the Asian side and the European side. This is the Galata Bridge. In fact, this is the 5th version of the Galata Bridge to be built here on this site. Built in 1994, this version of the bridge carries vehicles, pedestrians, and a tram line. This romantic-looking bridge has been the subject of many paintings, poems, books, and even featured in several movies, and is also known to be an iconic fishing spot. The fishing here is seasonal. Sometimes they're catching horse mackerel, but when I was here yesterday, they were reeling in long lines of sardines. This bridge has two walking levels. This top level is where the fishermen are located. In 2003, restaurants started to open on the lower level of the bridge. Here you can sit and enjoy a meal or a drink and watch the fishermen on the upper level reel in their catch. The Galata Bridge spans the Golden Horn. Getting its name from its horn shape, this is the primary inlet of the Bosphorus here in Istanbul, where the strait meets the Sea of Marmara. It is even thought that the card game Bridge acquired its name because the British soldiers who invented it had to cross the Galata Bridge on their way to their favorite coffee houses. In addition to the restaurants located on the lower level of the bridge, this entire area is surrounded with restaurants, cafes, and seafood spots, which include the famous Balik Ekmek, or fish sandwiches that are cooked up right here on these boats. So I finally got my fish sandwich, or Balik Ekmek, which literally translates to bread and fish. And this is it. It's mackerel, lettuce, and onion. And I added my own lemon juice and salt. This is an iconic sandwich here in Istanbul that is a must try. And I've been waiting a long time to try one of these, so I'm gonna dig right in. That fish is good. This is delicious. But this is a lot of bread. It might be a little too much bread for me. There's another version of this around town that's in a wrap, and I'm gonna try that one next. But right now, I'm gonna finish this one because it is delicious. So I decided to walk across another bridge that I saw, and it's for pedestrians only and the tram. And the tram goes into a tunnel at each end of the bridge. And what's interesting is the tram station is right in the middle of the bridge. I've never seen one of these before. So whatever direction you want to go, you just walk halfway out into the bridge, get on the tram there, and go whichever direction you want to go. But if you get off here, you're going to have to walk halfway across the bridge to get to your destination on whichever side. Even though Istanbul is a really big city and very spread out, getting around here is a breeze. The tram system here is efficient, easy to use, and inexpensive. You can get an Istanbul card at any station and top it up as needed. This card gets me onto the tram system, public buses, boats, and even into public toilets. The T1 tram line will connect you to almost all the tourist sites. And if you want to go across to the Asian side, you can take a boat from one of several ferry terminals. One thing that surprised me when I got to Istanbul were the number of ferry boats carrying people up and down the Bosphorus, across the Golden Horn, and over to the Asian side of the city. You can be walking the streets of Istanbul and not even realize the amazing thing that's right below your feet, the Basilica Cisterns. Built in the 6th century under Byzantine Emperor Justinian I, the Basilica Cistern is another amazing piece of history and ingenuity. An aqueduct carried water from 12 miles away to be stored here in the cistern for the city's elite to use. The 336 columns that support this underground cistern are actually recycled marble and granite columns from older buildings that were in the area at the time. Wow, it makes you wonder how old those buildings were. These columns include 2 blocks from the late Roman period that are carved with the head of the Medusa. These blocks were placed upside down to negate the power of the Gorgon's gaze. I'm finally going to try the Balik Durum, or fish wrap, today. The other day I tried the Balik Ekmek, or fish sandwich. I'm going to see how the two compare. Already in sharp contrast, the fish sandwich was being served from fancy boats, and it seemed a little touristy. Here, the fish wrap is being served up by a guy with some styrofoam crates of fish and his little wood-fired grill set up on top. But I also noticed that some of these little fish wrap vendors will have a line of 40 or 50 people waiting to get a fish wrap. So I'm very anxious to try this out. So I got my fish wrap, and a couple of things I noticed right off the bat. When I add the fish sandwich, they did not debone it. I had to eat it very carefully. This guy tried to debone it while he was grilling it. And the filling consists of lettuce, carrot, cucumber, lemon juice, look like balsamic vinegar, and a handful of spices that he threw onto it. It smells amazing. Where the fish sandwich only had some lettuce and onion, and then bottled lemon juice and salt if you wanted to add that yourself. So I can't wait to taste the difference. Here I go. Hands down, the Balik Durum, or fish wrap, is the winner. For me anyway. I much prefer this over the sandwich. More fish, less bread. The fish sandwich, the fish was just cooked on a griddle. Here, the guy was using a wood-burning grill, which makes a huge difference in the flavor. So juicy, tender, delicious, and that wood smoke flavor. Yeah, I love this. One of the most popular places to visit in the city is the Blue Mosque. This monument to Ottoman architecture is officially known as the Sultan Ahmet Mosque. This imperial monument was built in 1609 and is still a functioning mosque today, and is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is decorated with thousands of Iznik tiles and hand-painted motifs in various shades of blue, giving it its name, the Blue Mosque. This complex also includes Sultan Ahmet's tomb. The Blue Mosque is truly a beautiful place, and amazingly, it's free to visit. Built in the year 203 AD, this massive area was known as the Hippodrome. The Hippodrome was an enormous arena used for chariot racing. How cool is that? Today, this is known as Sultan Ahmet Square, but it was the Hippodrome for over 1,000 years. In 324, the city became known as Constantinople under the Emperor Constantine, and he increased the size of the Hippodrome to hold 100,000 spectators. This was the center of the city's social life, and great amounts of money were wagered here. Once adorned with great works of art and even statues of famous chariot drivers and their horses. None of that remains today. But you can still see Emperor Constantine's serpent column and the obelisk of Theodosius the Great, which he brought all the way from Luxor, Egypt. There is so much history here, it really captures your imagination. After a great morning of sightseeing, I decided to stop for a little refreshment under the Galata Bridge. Even though they're famous for fishing for the small horse mackerel here, I ordered a plate of anchovies because I love anchovies, and the ones that they serve up here are crispy and delicious, You don't have to worry about bones, and you can't beat the view. It's stunning here. I love the anchovies here. Light and delicate in flavor. It's like a French fry, only with fish. Delicious. And they're a great beer snack too. Galata Tower is an old Genoese tower in the Baialu district. Built at the highest point in the walls of Galata, it has been used as a watchtower for enemies, then as a prison for 200 years, and then as a lookout tower for fires. Located in a beautiful and vibrant neighborhood, the tower is a historical symbol of this area. It costs $33 to go to the top of the tower, and seeing that there are a lot of high entrance fees in Istanbul, I decided to skip it and just explore the area and enjoy the beautiful and vibrant neighborhood that's here. I found the best thing to eat up by the Galata Tower. It's a popular street food known as Midye Dolma. In translation, midye is mussel and dolma is stuffed. Midye Dolma is rice stuffed mussels. And I absolutely love mussels. Just look at this plate of mussels. They're all a really nice size, and they come with this seasoned rice stuffed inside, and they come with lots of fresh lemon to squeeze over the top, and I can't wait to dig in. Wow, these are delicious. I'm so glad I got a large portion. This is part 1 of my Istanbul series. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss part 2, where I will be visiting more amazing places and eating more delicious Turkish foods.